My hands look like they are the hands of corpses. You know what I mean. Hi there, my name is Shelby. This is my channel. That's just Shelby. Even with gloves. Blue collar, even with gloves. All right, in all seriousness, today's topic is pricing. Hairstylists get a lot of grief about their prices, and I totally understand it. The next thing that needs to be said is everyone is different. I might charge $200 for something that someone else is out there charging $500 for. And trust me, it's happened because I'm like, what? Like, maybe that person has way more experience and education under their belt and knowledge, and that is what their time is worth. I have, been guilty of being insecure and not charging what I'm worth. You can come to me and get something for $200 that you could get probably somewhere else for $150. And you could probably also get it for $500 somewhere. Do you like the atmosphere? Do you like how they respond to you? Do you like the education you also get? Do they tell you like how to style your hair and how to wash it? And, do you feel like you have a good relationship with your hairstylist? And what is their time worth to you? That's another thing. Their time, their knowledge, product cost. Economies are different in every state. Fluctuation is different. Are you in a concentrated area of a bunch of hairstylists that are lowering their prices because they're literally trying to fish and hook you by the discounts that they're giving? I forget what I was going to say. Before I was a hairstylist, I wouldn't touch those prices, right? I was like, nope, not worth it, right? But now, being a hairstylist and being educated, I just want to spread some pricing. Hello, my camera's... I've readjusted the camera. Starting a YouTube channel is like way harder than people give credit for. Just like pricing. Boom. See how I did that? I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm a scatterbrained mess. I know personally when people ask me my pricing, that's when I stop and I'm like... you're worth it. And I send them the price sheet, or I send them my range. We get into this industry because we generally do care about people. We want people to feel good about themselves. We want to help transform their confidence from the inside out. And we have a hard time with pricing. One of the number one factors as to why hairstylists charge what they charge, it's a lot of continued education. School does not cover it. A lot of money to go to hair school, and it covers the basics. It comes directly out of our pocket when we want to learn something else. There's always continued techniques, and if I don't know them, then you're not going to come to me. Money on education so that I can get you in my chair. Expenses in general. Are you going to someone who has suite rent to pay? Are you going to someone who's in a salon? Because we have to make a little bit of money. I mean, it's our livelihood. It's not just a hobby. Excuse me. People that are renting a suite might have to charge a little bit more to cover their cost of rent, not only for their suite, but then think about their mortgage at home or their rent at their apartment that they have to cover. Think about if they have kids and they have to cover that as well. Think about product costs. I don't think any hairstylist you go to is intentionally trying to rip you off. Like, I just don't think that, and I hope that you don't think that as well. It's an industry where we don't have a 401k usually. We don't have health insurance usually that we have to pay for, again, out of pocket. We don't usually have PTO. And yes, we do know that this is the industry we go into, but we also know that we need to at least take a little money home. The economy impacts us. And I cannot stress this enough with COVID. The prices of things going up. So say, for instance, when you were out there trying to get toilet paper and then like people were selling freaking sanitizer wipes for like triple the amount because people were hoarding them. The same thing happened to us, but we're in an industry where we have to care about sanitation. We are trained in those things. So our cost of chemicals went up, our cost of barbicide, everything that we needed in order to stay in business shot up and skyrocketed. People have raised their prices surrounding that as well. Like say in Arizona right now, I don't know if you're watching this and you're in Arizona, but the rent of anywhere is just super high. Like getting a house is crazy right now. Therefore, if your hairstylist rents a suite, you guessed it, their rent went up as well, and then they also had to raise their prices to cover not only now their costs, but their rent cost. I think the way it's going is a lot of hairstylists aren't working in salons. They're kind of going more towards the suite renting or the booth renting, and they cover their own costs. Usually when you don't have a boss, you have no one to give you a raise. We don't have anyone to really set our prices or give us like, hey, a pat on the back. You're doing a good job. Let's give you friggin' $2 more an hour. You could go years literally charging the same thing, and hello, fluctuation is really a thing, you know? I totally remember the days when I wasn't a hairstylist and I wanted to get my hair done, and I'm like, why does it cost that much money? Everyone's hair is different too. Your hair could take 6 hours compared to Sarah Smith over here, and her hair takes 2. It all depends on the length, the density. Is your hair damaged? Do I have to take extra care, extra product? Is it going to lift faster than so-and-so's? It's all in the hands of the hair. And like, pray to the hair gods, people, because I've seen it do some amazing things, and I've seen it sometimes like, why did that do that? So everyone's hair is different. That is why I feel like a lot of hairstylists are kind of going towards hourly now, because it's so hard to estimate what your hair is going to cost compared to someone else's hair. I might have to use Olaplex on your hair, which is a very expensive product, but it's worth it. I might have to use more gloves, and that sounds so silly, but man, those gloves add up. And I might have to use more foils. Foils are expensive these days. So many factors as to why your hairstylist is charging what she is charging. There's probably always going to be someone who will do it cheaper, and I'm not going to lie to you about that. If I have people that come to me with a budget, I do whatever I can to stay within that budget and plan something that will please them, and in the long run, maybe we can get to their hair goal. We just have to split it up, like in payments. Who knows? All in all, this is our livelihood. I get it. Like, hair is expensive sometimes. But when you look at what your hair costs compared to what I'm actually taking home at the end of the day, I think you'd be surprised to know it's not as much as you think. This comes from personal experience because, man, I thought I was taking home so much more money than I was. And when I looked at it, I had to up my prices. I simply did. I have a baby at home. I have mouths to feed. And I was walking away with pretty much like less than minimum wage. Less than minimum wage for sure. So it just comes down to, we're all trying to be kind and spread kindness in this world, especially these days. If you don't agree with my pricing or another hairstylist pricing that you go to, maybe ask them why they price the way they do. Be rude about it, like, I can't believe you charge that much, it's an arm and a leg. Because we don't feel great about charging you that either most of the time. But we know that that's what we have to charge in order to cover our health insurance, our rent at home, our rent in our suite. Like, there's so many different factors. You can't go to Target and negotiate the prices. As long as your hairstylists are communicating to you why they're charging what they're charging, and ask them up front, ask them as you go. Like, if they're adding something, ask them, is it an extra charge? I think price should be discussed at the beginning of your appointment or as you go when you're communicating different things the hair needs. So it is sad when I hear stories about like being shocked at what you paid, because in my chair, I don't want that ever to happen. I want you to know what you're going to pay. There are times when I have not charged my worth, and then on top of that, I haven't been tipped, and like, I'm not shaming anyone. Totally, I understand that it's been hard for everyone. But then I walk away feeling like defeated, because not only did I not charge my worth, I just didn't feel appreciated for the worth that I did charge. And so we're all human beings. I'm just trying to be nice and spread the message that I don't think anyone's trying to rip you off. There are so many costs that go into what we do. For instance, most of the colors I do, especially the vivids are $8 a tube. And on the girl's hair I did the other day, I used 10 of those tubes. So right there, I spent $80 on product. Had I had charged her $150, I don't know the math on that because I am horrible with that, but that doesn't even include the foils I used, the 4 pairs of gloves that I went through, the barbicide that I used to clean everything off after she left. There's so many things that I don't think we think of, and I didn't think of them either before I was a hairstylist. So if you have any questions below that you'd like me to answer more specifically, I didn't want this video to be too crazy long because no one likes a frickin' 10-minute video. So I will do my best to shorten this down, condense it, and give you all the facts. As always, if you liked this video, I really do hope that you support me by sharing it, liking it, commenting, following me on Instagram. I am grateful and I appreciate every single one of you so much. I hope you stay beautiful and have a blessed day. And that's the video.